Sometimes there are stories that grab your attention and you just kind of stop and say, wait, what was that? What'd you just say? Especially in prophecy, when you see stories online that are like at the bottom of the page or no one really cares about, and all of a sudden you look at it and through the eyes that you have, it looks completely different. Because we see through the eyes of Bible prophecy. We look in events and say, wait a minute, I know this prophecy is going to happen. And so if they are wanting to do that, oh my gosh. And then your whole day is arrested. It's arrested in thought, and you cannot believe that these things are happening. So the Jerusalem Post has just now posted, I want to take you the story. I just can't believe this is even happening. Look at this. Jerusalem Post says, no peace talks with Israel without a two-state solution, Saudi Arabia says. The kingdom stated to affirm its steadfast position to Washington on the Palestinian issue in the light of comments attributed to John Kirby in an unusual move that is simply meaning that it's not usual. So yes, that's why I'm coming to you today in a video, because this is an unusual move. The Saudi Foreign Ministry late Tuesday night clarified that Israel must recognize a Palestinian state at the pre-1967 borders to normalize ties with Saudi Arabia. The statement appeared to douse U.S. President Joe Biden's hope for a trilateral deal between Washington, Riyadh, and Jerusalem this year. So we now are seeing this peace treaty that we've talked about so many times here. It's the confirmation, the covenant. This is mentioned in Daniel 9:27. It says that he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And later on in that verse, it says, "For in the midst of the week, he shall cause the abomination of desolation." So we know that in the midst of this 1 week of years, which is 7, in the midst is 3.5. In the midst of this final 7-year peace treaty, the Antichrist will cause the abomination of desolation. He'll stand in the holy place, claiming to be God, and then that will make it desolate. It'll be an abomination, and that's why it's called the abomination of desolation. But in Daniel 9:27, there's also another key prophecy of events to happen in the future, and it looks like, this is unbelievable. I can't even, it's hard to wrap my hands around what I'm telling you, but the Bible explains that there is coming a Middle East peace treaty, and that peace treaty will authorize Israel's right to exist, and it will affirm Genesis 15:18, which is where God told Abram, I'm going to give you this land. So now we have Saudi Arabia, which, for those of us that may be brand new to this whole thing, Saudi Arabia is a big player in the Middle East. They produce a lot of oil. They got a lot of money. They got a lot of say. And the head of Saudi Arabia now, bin al-Salam, I believe is his name. He is a big deal. In fact, his name is actually... let me get that to you now. Mohammed bin Salam. And he is a force to be reckoned with. He has basically done away with women not being able to drive in Saudi Arabia. He's come in, he's kind of changed the country. And so he's this revolutionary in Saudi Arabia. And he's just issued this big statement. Hey, look, we're not hanging out with Israel. We're not making any peace treaty until they have peace with the Palestinians. And then we want a two-state solution. So what that means with you and I is the confirmation of the covenant. So when I saw this story, I said, wait, hold on a second. He's talking about pushing for peace. We were waiting for peace for years. I've mentioned that Clinton tried to do it. Bush tried to do it. Obama tried to do it. And Trump tried to do it. And now you have the Arab world. It's one thing to have the Christian community wanting Israel to have peace with its neighbors. They don't really understand that. Does Bill Clinton and George Bush and Obama understand the prophecies? Trump? No, they don't understand the prophecies. But it's a goodwill gesture to have the Jewish nation, which as a Christian you are supposed to endure, you're supposed to love and have thoughts for and care about and want to protect. And so They're not really concerned with the prophecies, I don't believe, but I believe it's a God ordained. We know that the Bible talks about the wings of a great eagle will protect the woman who brought forth the man-child. And is that possibly the United States? Yeah, it's possibly the United States that's actually going to protect Israel. So this wanting to protect Israel and help Israel is biblical. First of all, God says those who bless Israel will be blessed. Those who curse Israel will be cursed. So this is biblical to help Israel. And why are nations cursed that don't help Israel? Because that's what the Bible says is going to happen. So I'm in favor of blessing Israel. If that's what gets us blessed, I'm all in favor of that. So, but in this case, Saudi Arabia wants a two-state solution. They would like to have peace in the Middle East, and they're simply saying, we ain't going to have peace with Israel until we have a two-state solution, until we have a peace treaty where both sides come together and you're allowed to worship over there, and you're allowed to worship over there, and you're allowed to do this over there. Well, what is happening here is Revelation chapter 11. The Bible explains that there is an angel that's going to measure the temple, but he says, hey, look, don't measure the court because that's been given to the Gentiles to worship, but measure this over here because that's where the Jews are going to be. And so that's what Saudi Arabia is talking about. This is why I get so excited about prophecy, because I realize that stuff that I'm looking at with my eyes is mentioned in the Bible. Prophecy is meant to encourage. Prophecy is meant to exhort. Prophecy is meant to tell us what's going to happen before it happens. That's why I say all the time, power is knowledge and the lack of it is death, because you simply do not know what's happening in the future. So I'm here to encourage you today that God's doing a great work in this world, in this land, in your life. I believe God is going to use us to teach the prophecies of the Bible. The Bible says in Daniel chapter 11, verse 31 through 33, it says, they that understand amongst the people shall instruct many, and the people that do know their God will be strong and do exploits. And I believe that's you and I. I believe that the prophecies of the Bible are coming to pass, and we will see a confirming of Abraham, the Abrahamic covenant. We will see it with our eyes. You will see a 7-year peace treaty. I bet you that it'll be a worldwide event, and it'll say 7-year peace treaty. And then they're going to call you and me crazy for saying that that's the confirmation of the covenant. This is actually the beginning of the final. They're going to make fun of us. They're going to say you're crazy, you stupid Christians. You guys always say the end of the world's happening, and it's not. And stop it. They're going to make fun of us like crazy. But I'm telling you, I know the prophecies are going to come to pass, and there is coming a time where we will see a confirmation of Abram's Genesis 15:18 covenant that God made, because Daniel 9:27 says he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and that will be 7 years. It's coming, guys. The last or the final 7 years. Will you see it? I believe you will. And I believe it's possible that it might even happen this year or next year if Trump gets in office. Who knows what will happen? But the prophecies are coming alive. And this time in life is so exciting. I love you. Also, as we end today, I want to share with you, you can go to jessewoodrow.com and purchase my brand new DVD, End Time Prophecy, 5 Reasons End Time Prophecy Can't Be Ignored. If you want to find out why prophecy is so important, why it can't be ignored, and you need to understand the prophecies, get my new DVD, and it will chart out for you the reasons why we need to pay attention. We need to watch and be sober, because the Bible says that the Lord will come as a thief in the night. But guess what? You're not of the night, you're of the day. So that day will not overtake you as a thief in the night, because you're going to be watching and you're going to be sober regarding the prophecies of the Bible. And that's what I teach in this DVD, End Time Prophecy, 5 Reasons Why End Time Prophecy Can't Be Ignored. And you can get it at jessewoodrow.com. End Time Prophecy 101. God bless you. I love you. Power is knowledge, and the lack of it is death.